1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com.
From the first pitch to the final buzzer, this is where the conversation starts. All sports talk on WGNS and Big G TV, covering the Preps, MTSU, news from Tennessee and nationwide. Now, here's All Sports Talk on the Good Neighbor Network.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome into All Sports Talk on this Tuesday. Glad that you are with us. Tim Tackett along with Jeff Jordan. Jeff brought to you by Fans Heating and Air and Lee Colvin Financial Services. Mr. Jordan, how are things?
Things are well. Beautiful day, great weekend. Going to be okay this week, I think. Going to get hot. Well, you know, it's late May, so we're sneaking up on summer. We're
a week away from spring fling or state championships, wherever they may happen to be across the state. Several local schools doing well, Jeff. And then graduations are taking place. It's May. We're nearly halfway through the year 2026, and I just now try to figure out what 2026 looks like on my checkbook, and I'll have to change it here about tomorrow.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Well, it's good still to be around, though, I guess. Spring fling next week. We've talked about that some with the new sports, Jeff. You look at flag football, lacrosse, along with tennis and track and baseball, softball, soccer. I left something out, I guess. Track and field, I think I may have said. But, Jeff, there's a lot of sports going on in these days.
There are. There are schools that have 20 various sports that they play at some time or another. And we've even got one or two that I'm not sure now the status, but they used to combine two schools to formulate a team, but those are not recognized by TSSAA necessarily. But we got a lot, and we got to get a state championship in every one of them. Of course, some of them got more than one level. So it's a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of parents, a lot of visitors, a lot of journalists, and WGNS is super busy. Brian Barry does a great job with that, along with others, of trying to keep track. And I'll tell you what, if you want to know what's going on, it's on the website, and it'll be on the air.
You mentioned baseball tomorrow night. I know Riverdale plays, Siegel plays. He's going to cover the Siegel game. That's there. The winners will advance on to the state championships. We got teams in softball that are there. We got, I know, Eagleville baseball is live. Well, I haven't checked lately, but maybe you've got a few other names you can add to that list.
Well, I think we are down to the time where a game or two are going to decide who's there and who's not. And of course, we play everything, as far as I know, at our local schools, except we do play some baseball at Wilson Central, which might as well be Rutherford County. Really, it's just right outside the county. As far as I know, we do everything else inside the county. So we're going to have tons of visitors here. Our volunteers will be front and center, and we're going to have athletes everywhere from all over the state.
The one thing that everyone hopes for is good weather, and right now the weather is just perfect.
Yeah, looks good.
And the forecast looks like it's going to be that way. It's been kind of a dry spring overall. March and April kind of got their weather reversed. If you remember, March was really warm.
Right.
And April was really cool.
And we've had a year or two, and the years do run together, but we've had a year or two where we had to make some. We eliminated some games in baseball, particularly because they take so long, and there's so many games, and we eliminated a level the first round and that kind of thing, but did not make it double elimination. It is double elimination. But looks like this year, we don't know for sure. You can never tell. This is Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and it can rain every 15 minutes or never. But at any rate, I think we'll get everything in. Everything will be all right.
I expect that it will be, and you mentioned the volunteers and all that takes place. Kudos to them, Jeff. It's a lot of things are in Rutherford County, but I think you mentioned it last week that maybe the volunteers are the most crucial thing that we've got going for us.
I think so, and I remember when I was broadcasting, we'd do a game or be at a game, and be sitting up and watching whoever was playing, waiting for Riverdale or Oakland or whoever it was to play. And then when that game started, you'd look down in the stands, and the volunteers were exactly that. They didn't make a dime, but they got free T-shirts. And you'd look down in the stands, and there'd be a lot of our volunteers just watching, they're just fans. And I always liked that. I thought that was great. They're fully committed people.
I haven't checked the TSSA website to see, but I'm going to assume that TSSAsports.com will again cover the daily proceeds and have scores, and a great way to keep up with what's going on. Not just online, but also having a radio type presence that will stream across the state to let you know what's going on.
Yes, that's true. And between them and another radio station or two, WGNS particularly, I think you're going to you can find it real quick.
Sure.
As what somebody did. In order for that to happen, you've got to have somebody at the game that will send you the score. And sometimes something gets skipped, but it's not very often.
Jeff, it's a big deal for these kids to have an opportunity to play for state champions, and in coaching, even the limited success that we were able to have along the way, you remember those for a long time. So great memories are going to be made this next week or two.
Oh, I agree. And if you can go through the rest of your life, regardless of what that life may hold, and I hope good things for everybody, but if you can say, well, no, we were in the state championship in Murfreesboro, we were in the glass house playing basketball. It's nice to win, of course. But I tell you what, there's a great deal of satisfaction in just being there and getting to the state championship. I think that's terrific.
Is it fair to what I hear from sometimes the kids aren't as dedicated as they used to be? Is that a fair thing, or are they dedicated in a different kind of way? Because I do think there's no question it's different today than it used to be. Work ethics. Kids coming off the farm 50 years ago, Jeff, knew what it was like to work hard.
Yep.
I think sometimes our kids here not sure, but the successful teams are finding kids that do know how to dedicate themselves, I'd say.
Well, I'd say that's right as well. I don't know. What we hear and see, and you don't have to go far to see it, of youngsters that appear to be a lot more interested in playing video games than anything else, which just annoys the heck out of me. But they do it, and so do adults do too. Let's just say it out loud. But generally speaking, I think we can say that. Generally speaking, the kids that are here that are in the state tournament are dedicated people to trying to win a game. I think that's fair.
To support, you mentioned 20 athletic teams at a school. A lot of kids have got to be doing something right to be able to field that many kids. Because, I mean, the one thing you can't do is you can't mail it in. You do have to show up. You have to be physically there. So I think at the point that happens, most people recognize that if I'm going to be here, I might as well do it the right way. And that's what coaching is all about, isn't it? To try to motivate them and make them understand what that's all about.
Well, in my experience, which is limited, but everybody's experience, I think, would be limited. Most of mine was limited to Riverdale and Oakland and Laverne. Now, there are other schools. I'm aware of it. Please don't call me. But I can tell you that those kids, they were motivated to win and practiced and worked hard to get there.
Well, I encourage you to get out and support the kids in whatever way you can. And you mentioned WGNS Radio and TSSAsports.com. Good ways to keep up with that. Switching gears a little bit, Matt Insel was on with Dick Palmer yesterday on All Sports Talk. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it or not, but I listened with great interest to hear reports of Matt has a couple of assistants. One's his son, who's about 7 or 8 years old, and I think I say unofficial assistant. The other one's got to be an unofficial dad that somehow or another is going to keep up with what's going on. But Matt's highly enthusiastic as always, and never known him to not have an optimistic point of view, but listen to him talk about the players coming in, Jeff. It sounds awfully good.
Well, and fine. I think that's absolutely wonderful. But doesn't it always sound that way?
Sure. Well, in women's basketball for 21 straight years, it's been good enough to win 17 games or more every year and being in sometimes postseason. So
I'm not arguing with the results. I'm just saying that you're going to have a hard time finding a coach that doesn't agree with that.
The other side of that, and this has always been this way, on the men's side of things, you don't hear much out of the camp at all. Quietly, they go about their business. Last year, Nick McDevitt had a good ball club. Hit a tough streak right toward the end of the season, but won, I think, the last 5 games going into the tournament, and thought things are just right there ready for them, and it didn't take place. But the men's camp has always been a lot quieter in the spring, I should say, in the summer. But as you say, we shall see what we shall see. But he's got his dad's optimistic point of view, and Jeff, he's convinced me that he's going to have a good ball club next year.
Well, we'll see. I'm absolutely hopeful that that's the case. You got a lot to replace.
First 3 games, play St. Louis at home, good ball club. Play Memphis on the road, good ball club, and University of Tennessee. Lord knows whether that'll be a good ball club or not. It's a brand new ball club for sure because of portal, but pretty tough schedule to start the season off with, don't you think?
Oh yes, I definitely think so. And I know we got to take a break here in just a second, but when we
got 2 or 3 minutes, we're good.
I think that, of course, Tennessee will have 5 new starters. Matter of fact, they'll have a completely new roster, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. All but one, I think.
All but one, and here we will not have a new roster. I know we're going to lose, and have lost, I guess, 1 or 2 players. I believe that's right. 2 maybe.
2 starters.
Okay, so we'll rebuild from there, and but I think we'll be ready to go. We always are, and I think you watch them practice quite frequently. I have been over and watched them, and I think those people are dedicated.
Isn't it fair to say that the most improvements you're going to see in a player will be between the freshman and sophomore years? For those who play a lot, take the Blair Boggess of the world, for example, Verhulst, who was point guard, freshman. They can grow up pretty quickly over the summertime, and that years of experience make it toward next season. I expect that's going to happen.
Yes, I think that's true. And what you'll find out really is the level of improvement occurs. A major one it occurs all year, but is between in the 4th, 5th, 6th game of their second year. Okay, of their sophomore year. Now, they will continue to improve and so forth, but that's kind of a dividing line for me, at least. I'm always interested in that. And then also the after Christmas, when the conference games start, that's another dividing line. I think middle will be in fine shape. I don't know whether we're going to win a lot or not. I don't know, but I trust Matt's judgment.
I think most of us that have coached before want to start with 2 things: a post player that can play and a point guard that can play. Blair Boggess played the 5 position last year at about 6 foot, 6'1". She's undersized there, Jeff.
Yes.
His plan is to move her to the 4th position, which is where she needs to play. And you got the Spanish young lady that's 6'10", hoping that she can come around for a few minutes. Got a transfer from Oregon State, I believe it is. She's 6'5", and then a girl that was hurt, played very little last year because of his knee, 6'4", back. And his plan is for those 3 to emerge on the 5 position, and for Verhulst at point. And then you got to find some way to replace Contreras to scoring there, and he's got a freshman and a couple transfers that he's excited about there. So we'll see. The one thing that I think we all looked for last year was Davis on the outside shooting the basketball much better than she ever turned out to be, Jeff. We really never had a consistent scorer outside, did we?
No, we did not. And it hurt us last year. We did have a winning record, barely. And you know, though, I was thinking about what you said a minute ago. I just remember a couple of years, recent years, very recent, where I saw Rick Once was at Cracker Barrel, and once was maybe I wasn't no Charlie's because it's been closed. So I can't remember the other restaurant. But anyway, I saw him. He came over to the table and so forth, and of course he said something about basketball, but he said we're going to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. He said, "Now I'm telling you, you better make up your mind to come." He said, "We're going to be pretty good," and this was a month before the season even started, and of course he was right. Of course, naturally, we were pretty good. So I'm hoping that'll last.
Well, time will tell for sure. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to a little bit of Major League Baseball and a few other varied subjects on All Sports Talk.
In Rutherford County, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wommel, here to help life go right when you combine home and auto insurance. Call me today at 615-890-0850 and let me save you money and time. Your home, your auto, together they're where life happens. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wommel. It's smart to protect them together to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me help you save by combining your home and auto.
Is your saving for retirement strategy involving the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday"? If so, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin, and when it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started towards your retirement goals. Give us a call, Lee Colvin, at 615-907-7056. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
WGNS. Our family at Demas's Restaurant are proud to support local emergency responders who put their lives on the line for our community each and every day. This is Peter Demas, and here is this week's Demas's Emergency Responder of the Week.
Laverne Police Chief Christopher Mays is Demas Emergency Responder. Chief Mays was appointed to lead the Laverne Police Department in January 2023. When he stepped into the role, the department had been navigating a difficult period marked by officer turnover, leadership instability, and public concern. Under Chief Mays' leadership, the department regained community support and strengthened its reputation for professionalism and service.
When you see a firefighter, police officer, paramedic, or telecommunicator going the extra mile, let WGNS know, and we at Demas's Restaurant will salute them as the Emergency Responder of the Week.
Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
Leaks, clogs, or new installations, Roscoe Brown Plumbing is here to ensure water flows exactly where it needs to go in your home. Since 1940, our team of expert plumbers has provided Middle Tennessee with prompt, reliable service. From emergency repairs to routine maintenance, we're always here, ensuring your home's plumbing system is in tip-top shape. Trust in Roscoe Brown Plumbing for all your plumbing needs, where your family's comfort is our top priority. RoscoeBrown.com.
Good afternoon. We've got slow traffic at a couple of spots out here. 40 east and west. It's bogged down pretty good over here at Fessler's. It's slow. 65 up to Madison right now, northbound, working your way up into Goodlettsville with some delays up through there. 24 starting to load up with more traffic, especially eastbound. 24 at Bell Road out towards Murfreesboro. STR Towing and Recovery says call up 24/7 if you need a tow for a car, big truck, no matter what county. STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, wgnsradio.com, and Big G TV.
We're back. Tim Tackett along with Jeff Jordan. Jeff brought to you by Fans Heating and Air, Lee Colvin Financial Services with Edward Jones on All Sports Talk. Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves play here on WGNS all season long. Jeff, better than I expected. I don't know about you, but they've really gotten off to a very good start.
Well, they have either tied or one game up the best record in all of baseball. I never would have dreamed that, but I would have dreamed a good baseball team, and we certainly have that. One thing they appear to have done is they have prepared themselves to be able to fill in at some spots with very capable substitute players. That has definitely happened, and not. This is the Atlanta Braves. This is them. Acuna, he's already hurt. Already.
He's your favorite, isn't he?
I love that guy. He's a heck of a player, but he can't stay on the field. Now he's got the worst, well, not the worst kind of injuries, but he's got a tweaked hamstring, and it's keeping him out.
It really is a bad injury from a standpoint. It's really hard to know for sure.
Right.
For sure when it's good enough to go, because if you go too early, you're going to tweak it and you'll be out another month.
And the way he plays, particularly.
Like a wild man.
Yes. Okay. So that, but now, I was watching the other day, and that guy, Eli White, is that his first name? Eli White. He's been a good player for them so far this year. He runs into the wall, makes a fantastic catch, and it was good. It was a great catch. He's hurt. He's out now. He didn't play, and they don't play today, so maybe he'll be okay. And somebody else is hurt. Well, the catcher just got back, and their best pitcher, maybe the best pitcher in the league, was just brilliant this last time when he played, and was a winning pitcher. So maybe we can keep those guys on the field. But I noticed they called up another shortstop, so I don't know if they're going to be able to hang on and keep these injuries from decimating their season or not. I don't know.
It's interesting from year to year how divisions can morph into one thing than another. Last year, the National League Central, which is where Cincinnati Reds reside, and so I keep up with them a good bit. If you were over 500, you were leading the division.
Yeah.
This year, Cincinnati is 22-19 in last place.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's crazy how that can be, because the Cubs are the team that Atlanta's buying for the best league record in the league. I think they're like 28-12 or like that, and so 22-19, 3 games over 500 at this point in time, which will translate to what, 9 or 10 or 11 games over 500 time season's over with, 91 wins. That'll get you in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, absolutely get you in the playoffs. And then the Braves record, and I do not know exactly what it is this morning. It's like 27 whatever wins. They're the only team in their division over 500, and they're way over 500. So I mean, they're off to a great start as far as looking down the line and thinking about the playoffs is concerned. They're in good shape as of today. I don't know about tomorrow, but today.
We've talked in the past when maybe inevitably Nashville will end up with a Major League Baseball team. We're several years away from that for sure. But just listening to the news this morning, there's beginning to be some serious talk that the Memphis franchise in the National Basketball NBA will be moving to Nashville. I don't think that's likely to happen, but at least it's beginning to get some scuttlebutt going on. That Major League Baseball excites me. NBA would not.
No, I don't think that Nashville is a particularly great sports town. I guess people could argue with me about that and all they want, but there's never been just a groundswell of support to get that done. And there have been groups. There is a group right now that is organized and ready to adopt somebody. They thought they might get the Rays, out of Tampa Bay, and when their stadium was damaged by the hurricane and so forth, they thought, well, they can come up here. We'll build them a stadium. Well, of course, nothing ever happened, and they rebuilt their stadium. They're right back in it. But we've heard talk of the Oakland A's might move there at one time. It's never happened. Now the NBA, I'm sorry. I mean, I might. Well, I wouldn't go because of the money. I'm not going to spend that amount of money to see a ball game. But I don't think there's that much money to get that done. Do you?
No, I don't at all. But I was just thinking that once upon a time, we would never dream that a hockey club would be in Nashville and
That's
be
true.
Successful. They've been here 25 years now, Jeff, and I think that's right. And draw very well. A lot of interest there, and of course the Titans. So you've got two major league sports in Nashville, where in the 80s you had none, and then the thought process, well, Nashville will never get big league football or big league basketball or big league baseball. But they've got two, and I'm convinced baseball is coming. I don't know.
You think so?
When it'll happen, but I'm going to say, unless I die younger than I expect to die, within my lifetime, there'll be Major League Baseball in Nashville. I do think so.
Well, I'd say it's about 50-50, in my opinion. I don't know whether we can support one or not. Of course, the big thing is you got to have millions of dollars to build a stadium, and that's the problem. But we'll see. I'm as far as Jeff Jordan's concerned, I like it, but I don't have to pay for it.
Let's talk NCAA. Some serious discussions now in place that look like it's going to some fairly significant changes, very significant changes, I should say. The season they're trying, and we'll get it done. We'll finish by the time the second semester starts in January. So that when you get in this portal business, you've got that out of the way, which means you got to back your schedule up. We're going to start seeing more games in August, college football. Probably eliminate the championship games and the league championship games and add to that. And the goal is to be by January the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, something in that range, to have your national championship game played by then. I think that's going to happen within a year or two, even though they're going to make the playoffs even bigger.
Yeah, I think that will happen, and I think that, clearly the conference championship games, which a lot of people, including myself, have really enjoyed watching to see who would make the tournament. Where is it? Atlanta now? That's where they have it, right?
SEC.
SEC.
Is
okay.
There, yeah.
And okay. But I think those games are definitely on the way out. I don't see them surviving more than another year or two, if that long. And that's going to leave a weekend open for regular season, and they may back it up a week.
What you're saying is already a foregone conclusion that the two teams in the SEC championship game are going to go to the playoffs.
Yes.
And likely what happens in that game is not going to change a lot of the seeding part of it. So why play other than, it's money.
Money, yeah, that's right. There's a lot of that.
A little insignificant thing like money.
Millions of dollars at stake there. But I tell you that it puts a... Particularly if you're playing them, and we're about to, where almost every game you play during the year, half of which are on the road, and they're all conference games.
Sure.
I mean, there's tremendous pressure on every one of them, and even if it's not a conference game, it still may be a rivalry game, of the
Georgia Tech, for example,
yeah.
Clemson, South Carolina.
Exactly. So I don't know if we can add any more on that. Now, as far as having 76 teams in the national championship, I don't. I think and that's going to happen. That's going to be true next year.
Now we're talking about basketball.
Yeah.
And the games are expanding because every game that's played, TV buys, and TV pays good money for, which means the dollars and cents of it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does make sense. And that'll give us, we're going to add 8 teams. I think that's right, yes?
Yes.
We'll have another upset or two in there somewhere, which the sport thrives on. And I guess it's a good thing. I think it's too many teams, but that's just me.
Jeff, those of us that support Middle Tennessees of the world, the Louisiana Techs of the world, the Boise States of the world, are hopeful that means that those 8 expansion positions will go to schools like us. There's a real fear that you're going to see even more SEC schools with 4 or 5 wins in the conference get into the tournament, as opposed to a 28-win Ohio University team out of the MAC. I don't know if there's any way they're going to be able to make it assuredly that way, but if it expands to 8 teams and those 8 teams become us, great. But if it becomes 8 teams and it becomes the 12th, the 13th, or 14th team out of the SEC or the Big Ten, that's going to really make me mad, and nobody cares. But I will be aggravated.
Well, of course,
I'm on record for that.
Of course, if it adds an SEC team to the mix that wouldn't normally make it in a normal year, and that team is going to be better supported with a lot more money, and there's going to be more interest than there will be in Middle Tennessee.
Well, I'm sure that's the point there, but
you just don't
fair.
like it.
Well, life's not fair. I've been told that all along the way. Jeff, I have a position that stated, and that's not going to happen. But I would think any conference that to put an at-large team in a tournament needs to at least have a winning record in conference play. Or say if you got 20, there's 20 teams in the Big Ten now, right?
Right.
The Big Ten is now the Big 20.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is 10 teams out of the Big Ten not enough? Can you not say that teams that finish in the lower half of the Big Ten can't go as an at-large team? It makes sense to me.
If they're not in the top half of their, and anywhere in the top half of their conference,
right.
Their record is not, I would agree with that.
But when you go by this theory of power of your schedule, Middle Tennessees and Western Kentuckys of the world are not going to ever get SEC schools to come into your team to play.
That is correct.
If you're going to play any of those kinds of games, you're going to play them on the road or in a neutral site.
As we have found out, unfortunately. But well, that's right.
But it's going to go down that road, and we just need to make sure we get teams good enough to win the conference and get there. I think that may still be the direction we go, but I'm hopeful that a few more of our brethren in the schools like Middle Tennessee will see their way into tournaments more often, and those new 8 teams are mostly mid-majors, if that's the right word to use. Then I'm all for it.
Well, we poured a lot of money into our school, our facilities, our general budget for sports, but it has not and will not, I don't think, pay off in a major appearance somewhere in a bowl or the playoffs. I don't know that we're there yet.
Well, time will tell. Jeff, we're going to let things run. Keep up with baseball, softball, all the results of what's taking place in high school sports for sure on wgnsradio.com and also on air. Appreciate you coming in.
I appreciate being here.
Chip Walters is up next with the Blue Raider Insider Report, and then you got Middle Tennessee baseball. They take on, I'm going to say it's Memphis, but I could be wrong. But they'll be on 5:45 this afternoon on WGNS Radio.
If someone asked, what's your more? Would you be surprised? Well, at First Bank, knowing your more is where we start. Whether it's seeing your kid's college graduation, seeing the world, or seeing the ocean from your patio, your more helps us see who you are. That's why First Bank offers you more time, more access to local lenders and leaders, more answers, and more products. So tell us, what's your more? First Bank. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
First Shot transforms Rutherford County youth. Coach Andy Herzer leads dynamic basketball camps and clinics, building skills and character since 2003. Kids dive into exciting STEM projects, sparking creativity through hands-on coding, art, and dance. They elevate their mind, spirit, and body in summer and winter programs. Visit FirstShotTN.org today to learn more. First Shot, where kids gain, elevate, and develop.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
All across the country, drivers are reaping the rewards for safer driving with the updated Drive Safe and Safe app from State Farm. Plus, with dynamic new features like interactive maps and driving tips, the pursuit of your discount is even easier. You can earn up to 30%. Just download the Drive Safe and Save app from State Farm and get started. Just call me, Agent Deb Insel, at 931-684-5274, and we'll help you sign up today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
You have a staff that comes to your home. They walk you through it. It's been my experience. What I thought I should get for my home, I got much more for it.
Call Parks Auction and Realty or visit parksauction.com.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Parks Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
Next on All Sports Talk, it's the Blue Raider Insider Report with Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and let's start with women's golf today. Isabella Johnson playing as an independent up in the Louisville Regional of the NCAA Women's Golf Championships. Yesterday, she was tied for first in the individual standings after shooting a 5-under par 67. Today, she was 1 under 71 and right now is in 7th place overall. But the good news is she is the top independent, which means she is still in line to move on after the third round if she can hold that spot on to the NCAA championships out in California. Breaking down her round today, she started off with 3 pars following 3 birdies, and then on holes 7 and 8 had 2 bogeys and then a par on number 9 to finish 1 under for the front 9. On the second 9, she had a par, bogey, par, birdie, bogey on the first 5 holes. That had her 1 over. Then she finished out the rest of the round even par except for a birdie on number 17, and she has done well on the par 5s, and that was a par 5, and she ended up even on the back 9 and at a total of 1 under 71 for the day. And again, she is in 7th place overall, but all of the other golfers ahead of her and for the most part behind her for a little bit, she has a pretty good lead on the next independent player, and so she's having a great tournament up there in Louisville. Blue Raider baseball tonight, their final non-conference game of the season. The Blue Raiders take on the Memphis Tigers tonight, 6 o'clock at Reese Smith Field. This should be a beautiful night for baseball. So 6 o'clock first pitch at Reese Smith Field. Hope you'll be there for that. Elsewhere around Conference USA, Liberty will be hosting Wake Forest. Jack State will be hosting Auburn, and Houston Christian will be at Sam Houston. Looking at the weekend series, Missouri State will be at Kennesaw, Sam Houston at Louisiana Tech, Western Kentucky at Delaware. Liberty will be at Middle Tennessee this weekend for games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Jack State will be at Dallas Baptist, and FIU is at New Mexico State. The Blue Raiders right now looking to either win at least one game or